Let's just see what I have to do to clean up here a bit.
John's got a question.
Yes.
How does fish fit in the protein?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure what you mean. Fish is
Source of protein.
Oh, fish is an absolutely excellent source of protein, but so are nuts. And the thing that we don't seem to understand in our country is that you don't have to have animal protein to have protein. We eat far more protein than we need. We eat far more than is healthy for us. It's much healthier because fruits and vegetables are also loaded with protein. And in our culture, we'll take a dinner plate and mound it 3/4 with some sort of meat, animal protein, meat or fish, and I'm a great fish fan. And then little tiny bits of vegetables, when it really should be the other way around. That's why the Asian diet is so much healthier than the American diet, the Western diet, because they do little tiny bits of meat or fish with major amounts of grains and fruits and vegetables, and that is a far healthier way to eat. Alrighty, let's get around here. Chocolate of the gods. Let's see, I need a Cuisinart. Which one shall I use? That's not that one. That's that one. Let's see if I can find... Alrighty, maybe I'll use that one. Sorry, kids, I've made such a mess here that I'm trying to figure out my own mess. There we go. There comes my Cuisinart. Perfect. That's the one that's, oh, ideal. Thank you so much. We are going to make chocolate of the gods, and I serve this in many different ways. Today it's going to be like a chocolate pudding, but it's truly wonderful. Okay, Cuisinart Blade. Is this the one for this? It's the one for that. What did I do with the other? Here it is, thank you. Let's wash it. I've not done so many things at one time in the same space, so it gets a little daunting. All right. Yeah, exactly. All righty. We are making chocolate of the gods, starting with avocados. Here we go. Avocados, exactly. And this recipe is called chocolate of the gods, and you will see why. It is heaven, even if I say so myself. The recipe calls for 2 small or 3 large avocados. I happen to always like to use a big one. Now I do lots of different things with this chocolate of the gods. You'll see today, you can taste this particular way. It can be frozen. I do peppermint patties that are wonderful. But first I'll give you a taste of it so you see what I'm talking about.
So enzymes are not harmed by freezing? Or?
Enzymes are not harmed by freezing. They are killed by heat. In fact, I freeze a lot of things over the winter so that I can keep them when they're out of season.
What do you do with the freeze? Nuts?
Well, I can typically get nuts, but like berries, raspberries, we spend half the year in Thailand, and raspberries are not indigenous. You really can't buy them there. They have to be imported, and so, but you can buy them frozen. It's kind of fun learning to deal with different kinds of foods that are indigenous to different parts of the world. Alrighty, so what I've done in here is I've put 3 avocados. So you can see, this is already really sensationally good for you. Chocolate of the gods. Okay, a half a cup and 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. This is a 1/4 of a cup. Where are all my measuring things? That's a 1/3 of a cup. That's a tablespoon. We're going to find it down here. That's a third of a cup. That's a third of a cup, wouldn't you know it? That's a half a cup. Okay, I want a half a cup and 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup. Half a cup.
Is maple syrup always raw?
No, maple syrup is one of those things that is essentially never raw because they have to heat it to take it out of the tree. And a purist will say, oh my God, maple syrup's not 100% raw, and they'll be right. You know, then it calls for 4 tablespoons of agave. And again, in Telluride, I can't buy raw agave. In a health food store, you typically can. We just don't have it here. 1, 2, 3. Raw agave is a low glycemic sweetener. I love it, use it all the time. Typically buy it raw in Whole Foods or somewhere like that. Our markets just don't have it yet. 2, did I bring the vanilla? Yes, there we go, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay, going, what did I do with it? Now, because it calls for 2 teaspoons, I'm going to put in about 4 drops. Just simply because this is super, super powerful, the medicine flower vanilla. A teaspoon of balsamic vinegar. Bet you didn't think that balsamic vinegar and soy sauce would go into chocolate. And it's what gives it, it makes it so good. Okay, Guy, can you open that for me? Thank you. I don't think I brought measuring spoon. I guess I did. Thank you. Great. This is, what do I have here? A teaspoon. I want a teaspoon of balsamic vinegar. This is what gives some guts to this. And a half a teaspoon of soy sauce. This makes this so good. Oh, vanilla. Where's my vanilla?
You did it. 4 drops. You already did it.
I did the vanilla?
Yes.
Thank you. God, I'm really losing my mind here. Okay.
We're paying attention.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Here's the hat to this one. I feel like we put in maple syrup, agave, vanilla, balsamic vinegar, soy sauce. Okay. Yes, but I know, but first I'm going to whip this up. And then I'm going to add the cacao. Now, I use raw cacao powder, which I can't buy here in Telluride. Cacao. The raw cacao, it's wonderful, and I simply, let me beat this a little more. We don't have any in our market, so what I'm going to use is cocoa, unsweetened cocoa powder. I want to make this smooth and silky, so I want all of the, don't really want to mix tomato sauce with it. Let me just get this in. That tastes right. Okay, and now I'm going to put in a cup of raw cacao. But I'm having to use Hershey's cocoa because I couldn't buy raw cacao in Telluride. 1 cup. And the raw cacao is great. I'm not entirely sure that this has been heated, but the raw cacao has not. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have chocolate of the gods. And wait until you taste it. It is to die for, I think. Let me make sure. I'm used to raw cacao. It's a little more intense. Put a touch bit. Okie dokes. Oh, I left out the vanilla. No, I didn't. God, I'm really losing it. Okay, chocolate of the gods. Now, the way we're going to serve this today, I think, is with strawberries. It's really fun. And there were some, let's put it on, I guess we'll do little plates with strawberries and chocolate of the gods. Let's do this way. Trying to think. It's wonderful to serve with any kind of fruit. I do a typical thing that I love to do is do a layer of, I make peppermint patties, and I take a layer of fresh coconut and mix it. I typically sweeten it with dates. Here in Telluride, you can't buy unsweetened fresh coconut. They just don't have it. So you don't really need to sweeten it. But I put a couple of mint, couple of drops of mint extract, make a layer, and then put a layer of chocolate on the top, and it makes this, you can do it as frozen. Today we're not going to serve it frozen. We're going to serve it, let's see, how can I serve this? I'm just trying to think the best way to do this. A dollop or maybe a bowl, and we'll give you with spoons. Let's do it this way. Let's give you chocolate of the gods.
Spoons there too.
Yeah, and put some strawberries in it. And I think that's the only way we're going to be able to do it. Here, I got a million spoons over here. Trying to think the best